Alright guys, firing up something new. This is Command Modern Air Naval Operations. And this is like a really, I don't even know how to describe this game, this sim. It's just very involved, very complicated, and you guys are going to see that. And as the title suggests, you know, it has to do with modern air and naval operations around the world. The mission I'm playing here, and I've had this game for a while now, and I've slowly been wrapping my head around the ins and outs of it because, again, it is a very in-depth game. More on the sim side than the game side. But, you know, I like doing things like this, or playing games like this anyway. So, what this is a kind of a mini campaign that one of the normal players, a big time player who does play this, he's created this series, and this one here is called Black Tiger 1, and it takes place in 2015. And as you can see, this is our morning brief here. It says the last Marines embarked on, and this happens in the Persian Gulf, by the way. Anyways, sorry, I was talking to my son. So we're in the Persian Gulf, and I have a feeling it's going to get kind of sketchy with Iran. But I'm not going to read this whole brief to you guys, just because I don't want to narrate all this stuff at you. If you pause the video, you can read it. Basically, we're going to do some ELINT missions with some of our, I'm assuming they're going to be F-18s, because this is 2015, yeah, so the U.S. Navy won't have any F-14s. So ELINT, I believe that's electronics intelligence. But yeah, so the EW, that's Electronic Warfare Wizards, has an idea for today. We're going to fly around the edge of Iranian airspace, and we're just going to kind of see what the Iranians are up to. Apparently there's a Iranian Kilo-class submarine somewhere around, poking its head around the Persian Gulf. So we may want to keep an eye out for that. There's some P-3s and some Canadian Auroras that are working ASW, that's anti-surface warfare, or anti-submarine warfare problem. The weather's good, blah, 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 blah. So that's our mission brief here. And we're going to jump in the game here. And this is what you see in this game, for the most part. Obviously, this is our area of operations here. This is the Persian Gulf. The blue forces are good guys. The yellow forces are unidentified, so they're tagged, skunks until they are identified. Green ones are normally like civilians. So, we've got a commercial tanker. You can see its picture up here. We can get a description of it. And then you can see, and I'll show this stuff to you guys more in depth, but this game just gets crazy as far as the amount of data, just raw data, that this game has on weapon systems around the world. It's nuts. So just a quick thing here, this red shaded area here, this is a no-fly zone. This is Iran, right here if we zoom out. So you can see that's the country of Iran here, bordering the Persian Gulf. We're to the northeast of Saudi Arabia. And what we want to do is we're just going to kind of buzz Iran here and kind of see what they do. Just kind of probe them out and try to gather some information here about them. If we click on things here, you can see so this is a group of Hornets here, FA-18C Hornets. And like I said, this game has a database that's unbelievable as far as military technology. So here we can see it's the FA-18C Hornet. It gives you its climb rate, agility, blah blah blah, and all this stuff is taken from real world statistics and documents. Obviously there is some stuff that's still classified that they kind of had to flub the numbers, but they've taken an educated guess on a lot of things, not on a lot of things, on a lot of things that they couldn't get just due to security. But it's all the different weapons that that F-18C can use, the 88 harms, AGM-88 harms, it gives all sorts of ranges and everything like that. Like I said, this game is nutty. If you're big into military technology, this game's got the best database I've ever seen in a game. This here is our surface group. What is this? This is the Carl Vinson aircraft carrier, Nimitz class aircraft carrier. This obviously this is U.S. Navy. These rings are like if we look over here, and I'll just give you kind of a brief thing. So the white ring is its air sensors. The yellow ring is surface. Light green is underwater. Pink is air. Blah 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 blah. And so that's what each one of these rings stands for. You know, it's the range for that particular sensor. So you can see if we turn off the air sensor, that white ring goes away. Definitely don't want to turn that off. We want to have that on. And so this surface group here, you can group your naval ships into surface groups. But as you can see, it's made up of the Nimitz, the Carl Vinson. We've got a couple Arleigh Burke destroyers. Pretty cool. Again, this database, it's ridiculous. Who else do we have here? So we got 2 Arleigh Burkes, 3 Arleigh Burkes, Vinson, Lake Erie, some guided missile cruiser, 2 guided missile cruisers, looks like, and a supply ship. So very cool. So if we go back to our, let's look at our side brief here. Okay, that's what we had. So we want to go to missions, mission editor, and ELINT mission, and we're going to make this active, which, so you can assign missions to your different warships or, you know, aircraft, whether they be, you know, fighters, support, you know, seed aircraft, helicopters, whatever. You can build out your missions and tell them what to do, give them waypoints. You can really get kind of really down and dirty with it, you know, as far as how detailed you want to be, which is pretty cool. But we're going to set this to active, and it's going to kick the mission off. And then I'll just show you this real quick. You have all sorts of ROE stuff, mission doctrine stuff. You can see, you know, rules of engagement for anti-surface warfare, anti-submarine warfare, MCON control, air operations, weapon release authorizations, all sorts of nutty stuff. But we're going to leave these at the what was I trying to say? At the defaults here. So these blue lines here, you can see when we set that mission active, this is where our F-18s, they're going to kind of buzz the coastline. And we're going to go ahead and hit start. And there is a time compression on this because, again, this is all happening real time. So, you know, for some longer missions, you know, it can get kind of, you know, if you're playing, you know, like a 7-week mission or something like that, you don't want to sit here for 7 weeks in front of your computer screen. But let's see what's going on here. You can see you got the Iranians flying around here. We don't know what these are. They're unknown class. They've got some F4s flying about. And again, just like the naval ships, they have their own threat circles here, which gives, okay, let's see here. Contact fighter has been classified. All right, so these guys here, so they've got some F-14s in the air. Iran is probably the last country on the planet, I believe, that actually still actively flies an F-14 variant. And I believe that they can shoot the Phoenix missile. Let me see here. I know that the radar's not as good as what the American one was. Yeah, so they can. The Farcor 90. It's just a modified Phoenix missile, which has a ridiculous range. If we look at it again, that's what I wanted to look at here. Where is it? Max range, 100 nautical miles. That's retarded. It's super far. That's this red ring here. So if he wanted to... Okay, we just got a ping here, new contact. Alright, so we're just picking up new contacts. That's this guy here. Skunk 4348. So, not worried about him. He's off to the coast of Kuwait. Our flight hasn't taken off yet, but we can look actually at our flight here. What were they? Were they C's? On the deck? No. 10 seconds, Gunslinger 1. No. Alright, so they're getting ready to take off here. Ripper 5 and Ripper 6. These are the ones that are on the ELINT mission. They're armed up with Mavericks, and I'm sure they've got other stuff too. And we'll check it out. Yeah, so they've got 2 Sidewinders, 2 AMRAAMs, obviously some drop tanks and their normal stuff. This is the loadout roll that they've been prepared with. You guys can read that. But they're going to be taking off here in 1 minute 5 seconds. And they're going to be following this set of waypoints around here. Now, I am kind of concerned about these F-14s because they can do some damage. Let's see, F-4s. What else is around here? A-50U mainstay. It's kind of like their version of the AWACS. All right, what do we got over here? Some F-5 Tigers. All right. And then obviously there's ground, installations here. Kish Island Airport, Bandar Lang, Bandar Abbas. We know that they've got a lot of military hardware down here. What's this guy doing here? All right. So let's see here. And again, I mean, this game has got some great scenarios. There's tons of user-created scenarios out there. Kind of curious what else is around here. Okay, so we've got some Canadians here, some Auroras, Canadian ships down here. What's this? All right, so Ripper 5 and Ripper 6, those are our FA-18Fs. They have taken off from the Nimitz, or from the Carl Vinson Nimitz class carrier here, which they should be right here. And again, they're going to be heading over here to perform this ELINT mission. I'm sorry, I'm a bit stuffed up. Allergy season. All right, so we've got some more F-18s doing just regular patrols. They're on SUCAPs. That's a sea control. Sea control patrol. E2C Hawkeye. Those are eyes in the sky. We've got the Terror battle group here behind us. So they're following along in trail to the Carl Vinson here. Some more F-18Es, Super Hornets, and some more Super Hornets. So we've got plenty of air assets up here. Skunk. All right, so they're just detecting more ships up here, which I don't think we need to worry about those. What is this? Su-33 flankers. That's interesting. What are they going to do? We'll keep an eye on these. These can be bad. These are Russians. Russians helping out the Iranians. All right, so Ripper 5 and 6. They're buzzing along. Let's see. What are they armed with? They are armed with... Yep, that's right. We already looked. And you can check their fuel, because again, you can actually go in here and you can modify. You can manually set their speed if you want to take it over, manual override. Or you can just give them kind of general orders, and then the computer will kind of figure out best how to accomplish what you're trying to do. Or you can get really hands-on with it and do it yourself. But for now, I'm just going to let them do their thing. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to speed up the time compression here. Just a tad. Just to see what's going on. Where'd those Su-33s go? There they are. So again, we're going to get really close to the coast of Iran. Oh, what is this? Let's drop it down. All units in Alpha Whiskey, this is Ripper Flight. We're on station and beginning the ELINT run. All right. So they've hit their first waypoint, and they're getting ready to do their thing. Let's see what they do. Who's this? That's that mainstay. All right, so we got is that a pair of MiG-29s over here that just took off? All right, so it looks like we got a pair of MiG-29s that just took off from Bandar Abbas. Yeah, MiG-29As. And that's not right. No, I did update my database pictures. So apparently I put a F-111 inside the MiG-29. I'll have to go back and change that. Obviously, this is not a accurate photo for the MiG-29. That's a U.S. Air Force F-111 Raven. Let me make sure the well, the data is all correct. Just a picture. We'll have to change it off and make a note of that. But yeah, anyways, we got a pair of MiG-29s taking off. 36,000 feet, 350 knots. And they're heading west. What are you? F5. Those are F5 Tigers. F4s. All right. Maybe they're coming to see what we're doing. I feel confident that the F-18. Again, these are Fs, but I think they're a fairly decent match against a MiG-29. I don't think we have anything to worry about. But with these Tomcats right behind us, that could be a problem. All right, I'm going to speed it up a little bit more. Let's see. I wonder if they're going to meet up with those F5s. Oh, that SG-33 is coming south. They're coming towards us. He's turning off, though. He just changed directions. These MiG-29s, I don't like the heading these MiG-29s are taking. Those F-5s turn back. Those F-4s seem non-important. We're still in range of those F-14s. But these guys, I don't like how they're flying abreast like that and coming at us. Let's see what they do. Alright, he just turned. What are you doing, buddy? So they're coming off the coast. They're coming into the Gulf. Here we go. Alright, Ripper 5, this is Alpha Whiskey. Be advised to fly the 2 Iranian fighters. Oh, they're going after that Canadian right there. Intercept the bogies and chase them off the Aurora. Bogies are on high and fast, approximately 0-90 for 70 miles and heading south out of Iranian airspace. Your signal is Buster, warning yellow, weapons tight, fire only in self-defense. Okay, so that's important. Fire only in self-defense and remain clear of Iranian airspace at all times. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is let's get this Orion out of here. So we're going to plot a course. Let's get him over there. And then we are going to plot these guys super fast. And let's get them at high altitude. Alright, so we're going to manually get these guys up and going here. Afterburner, high altitude. Alright, these guys are bearing down. So he's going to be in range of these guys here any second. But we definitely want to chase him off. Let's get... I don't want to pull these guys out. I'm going to leave them to do their thing. And actually, I think I might have enough. Yeah, I've got other Hornets in the area. Alright, so I'm going to actually get these guys out here as well. They've got plenty of fuel. I'm going to take them off this cat patrol. Just to give these guys a little bit of support. So we're at altitude now. Let's see what they do. He's starting to turn into us. Let's start turning away and see what he does. Alright, so he's turning away. I also want to keep an eye on these F-14s up here. No telling what they'll do. Zoom in a bit. Alright, so let's turn back into him. Alright, so every time we turn into him, he turns into us. But I want to get this guy to disengage that Aurora, that Orion. Alright, we're going to be going on a head-to-head pass here. I'm going to throttle down here. Manual. Take it off manual anyway. Alright. Come on, buddy. So it's like a nice little high-speed game of cat and mouse. Turn back into him. Just getting more information here as it becomes available. So he is matching our every move here. You want to make our radar active though. Same with these guys. Hopefully we can put a scare on them. Alright, that's what we want. We want him to turn away from us like that. Let's see what he does though. These ships I'm not worried about. They're not going to go after the ships, not with the MiG-29. This guy though needs to get out of there. Take him off that. So it looks like he might be going after Ripper 5. Alright, so he's turning away. Let's keep on pulling him out. I know MiG-29 does not have like a huge range, even with fuel tanks. Just they have huge engines and they guzzle gas. Alright, what are you doing? These guys can... Alright, let's get to my cruise. Get these guys up on military as well. Alright, so he's turning back, it looks like. Let's turn him away. Oh! Alright, so he's fired a missile at these guys here. Fucking burn it, boy. He's fired another missile. Alright, so what we're gonna do... Alright, so our boys fired a missile back. He's gonna come down this way. Alright, so his missile missed. And see, let me stop it right here, pause it. You can see the probability of hit. It gives you, you know, all this info. So we hit it with a defensive jammer, which is nice. So we've got 4, let's just look at the situation here. Let me go ahead and minimize that. Alright, so that MiG-29 has fired a missile there. We have 4 AMRAAMs in the air. Looks like 2 are going down here, 2 are going up here. But he is free. Now they did fire first, so that's why they went red hostile. So he's going to try to dodge this. I don't know if he's going to... He's got that missile beam, but we'll see. Hopefully Ripper 6 doesn't go down. Oh, it's going to be close. Alright, it missed. Alright, we're going to turn back on this guy here. Alright, we got him. We were fired on. What the fuck? Scenario failed. Now, I do think that is a bug with the scenario. I know, according to the Steam forums, somebody's asked the scenario designer, to fix that. Clearly, we were fired on first. You can go back through the report, and you guys saw it. We were shot at, and according to our rules of engagement for the scenario, we were weapons tight unless we were in self-defense, which clearly we were. So I'm going to disregard that, and let's just see what happens. So that guy got schwacked. He fired another missile, but I think that AMRAAM's going to get him. Got him. Alright. So that's the first mission in the bag. Pretty cool. We'll get these guys to RTB. Back to the carrier. Put these guys back on that patrol mission. Actually, what's their fuel looking like? That's that cap outer. That's that group. These guys here. So we'll put them back on the cap. Back there. Alright, let's speed it up. And actually, we'll jump it like 30 seconds here. Looks like somebody shot down. It looks like one of our ships fired that RIM 174 at those flankers and swatted them out of the sky. But clearly we were fired on first. Alright, so these guys are going to land. And then we'll end. We'll index a mission after that. Alright, he's landed. Valiants are coming in as well. Alright, so we'll stop it. You know what, we made it continue until it goes out. Come on. So I think this is like a 5-mission campaign. So that was mission 1. Kind of gives you guys a little insight into the game. Alright, you're presented with evaluation of your performance. Disaster. Yeah, I don't know why we were fired at first. Excuse me. But any day that you can swat down 2 MiG-29s and 2 Su-33s, I consider that a good day. Point penalty for shooting down MiG has been fired. Okay, well, the way that this mission does scoring needs to change. But, like I said, that gives you a good insight, a small insight, just a very small fraction of the depth of this game. I'll probably play through the entire campaign, just because it is a smaller campaign and the complexity isn't as great as some of the other ones. I do believe it's not all... It's a good mix of both, air operations as well as like, ship-to-ship fighting stuff. So, with that being said, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.